of really gentle, seated, standing, lying down movement. It's mindful. We're sort of thinking about sensation as we're doing it. And you can take it, really nice and slow. We're going to be in different positions, but I think what works best for you. So could be standing, can be seated on a chair. You can also do this from the edge of a bed where you might stand, you might sit. And then the lying down bit, my favourite bit, you could be doing that from a bed if you pull the duvet back so you're just on the mattress and the sheet, or you might make your way down to the floor, put something nice down. I've got like a double layer of mat down here, make it nice and squishy and comfortable for you. Right, let's get moving. We start, as we always start, with a bit of breath. You're already breathing, we're winning. And I want you to place your hands somewhere at the sides. This might be comfortable, that might be comfortable. It's so you can feel your ribs and your high waist. It's the bit that we bend over, so not the waist necessarily where your clothes like to go. It can be really different. So place your hands somewhere at the sides, and I want you to breathe into your hands and send them outwards. So you feel your chest move, but you feel it move outwards. And I'm thinking front ribs, back ribs, side ribs. And then breathe it out nice and slow, like you're blowing through a straw. Feel everything come in. You can even feel all the air squeezing out of your belly if you really want to blow out for longer. And breathe in. Feel your ribs expand and blow it out nice and slow. Feel them go close together. We're stretching all the muscles out between your ribs. And last one. And give yourself a little shake. Shake out any tension that you don't want, any stuff that you don't want. And then take your stance seated or standing so that your feet are pointing forwards. They're not out or in, they're just forwards. There's a small gap big enough for a book. I'll leave you to choose whatever that book is. And we'll grow tall. So just imagine someone's pulling a hair from your head, or you can place your hand like a book, like an old deportment sort of image, and feel the top of your head get closer to your hand, and just feel your whole body go upwards. If you're seated, it's almost like you're not sitting right down on your bottom. It feels like there's like a little air cushion, a tiny amount of air between you and the chair. That's it. Right, from here, soften the knees slightly if you're standing. We're going to go into a little movement for the lumbar spine, so you can have a feel where your lumbar is, this bit of your back around here. You can hold your belly. We can breathe in, expand the chest. And as you breathe out, think about lengthening at the back. It gets flatter, and then let it tip back to the front. It's a pelvic tilt, and you can see why for a reason. You can see the bottom of my t-shirt moving as my pelvis tilts upwards and then tilts backwards. So this is tips up at the front and then tips up at the back. And this line here shows you the tiltiness. Here's my pelvic bones. You've got to imagine it underneath the leggings and the skin and all the rest of it, the actual bones of the pelvis. And it just helps to touch them. There's sort of bony landmarks of where your hips are, hip points, and where that bit is on your back, that bony bit of your bum, the sacrum, going into your lumbar, sort of just at the waist. Nice and small. It can get really stiff. It's really nice to do against a wall because you can sort of feel something to aim for with the wall. And then have a little wriggle, little hip wriggle. Make it shimmy if you want to. But keep this part of your body, rather than going side to side, keep it fairly still. Just get that really little movement. If you're seated, it's super small. It's at the sides. And you'll feel your hip bones do this little seesaw. Gorgeous. Right, now, give the back of your head a tap and take your whole face back. You can give your face like a little touch And just take your whole face back like you're just about to lean against a wall. So you've got a superly long neck, and turn your head. And then bring your head to the front and some sort of neck roll that feels nice. This is my go-to. It's like a sort of bigger than a semicircle. Some people might make it a full circle. I like to go one way and then into the other way. And necks are really sensitive things for some people, so it's really important to choose one that you like and you feel safe with. And then bring it back to the center and just give your shoulders a wriggle with your arms resting wherever they are, each way. And then just think about your scapula, just your shoulder blades. So rest your arms, don't have to think about them. And then move from the back. So don't know if you can see much. It's a little bit going on here. I can feel it going on at the back. You might see it through my t-shirt a little bit because it's quite a thin top. I'm just trying to move them each way. And then get your shoulders going. Let your arms be heavy and hang. That's it. You can breathe in as they come forwards and up. And breathe out as they're just at the top. Around the back and down. It's a bit like a wave. That's the swell on the breath in. That's as it just ripples out to shore. Every now and again, change the direction. And one more. Place your hands somewhere around your shoulders. Bring your elbows close in and then open out. Together you might touch, they might be apart, just towards each other. And then out. One more. And then paying attention to your feet. You might want to rest your hand on something. We're going to work the ball of the foot. So we're going around the front of the foot, the ball of the foot, that sort of a side of going across the little toe, right across all the toes and those side edges. Taking it the other way. A little bit of pressure just so you can feel the floor and different parts of your feet. Some bits might be really difficult to feel, other side. So if you've got neuropathy, maybe you've got just pain and discomfort in your feet, or it's numb, you don't feel very much. So just finding sometimes a rough surface or something that's fluffy or a towel, just a change in surface can help you feel a little bit more through your feet. And then just to bring a little bit more sensation, just give them a little tamp down. And now we're going to let our arms go forwards and backwards. So they're just swinging, just getting things nice and loose. And then you can take it upwards as far as your arms want to go. If you can't bend them going up, have them bent. But let your back just lean back a little and look upwards. I'm looking between the wall and the ceiling. And it just starts to bring a little bit of extension into your back, a bit of a stretch. Away from that sort of forwards posture that we're often in if we're seated or we're at a desk or you're driving. And then you can make this bigger. So I'm just sending my bum back. There's a little bit of a knee bend, but it doesn't have to be actually. You could do this with virtually no knee bend. If you're doing it seated, just watch don't bump your arms into anything behind. And last one. Well done. Right now, taking the elbows back, letting the waist turn, let the feet move. So you can see if I show you from the side, my heel just comes up there, letting the waist turn. And then bring it forwards, feels like you're going to box with somebody. Be a really gentle sort of boxing though. And then take your arms in front, similar sort of movement, but arms are a little straighter and it's like a little bow and arrow. So slide back, same opposite leg is going forwards. If you're seated, it'll be a heel raise. I'll show you in a second. And then swap round, do the same on the other side. So you're just pushing and pulling back, pushing your longest finger forwards, pulling your elbow back, and your eyes can follow your elbow. I'll just show you seated. Now I find with seated, I'm sat about just over halfway on my chair. My elbows are just touching the back, so I sort of come into the front third, and then my elbows can actually touch against the chair, and it feels like they're going quite a long way. Sort of switch between, so it's seamless. Take a breath whenever you feel like it. Last two. Give it a little shake out. We can go into a little split stance here and just have a little forwards and backwards and swing your arms forwards and backwards. If you're seated, take one foot forward and the other foot slightly under the chair and just rock a little forwards and backwards. Keep your back straight. Let's swap legs. I'm going to do this one seated. So back stays straight and we just come slightly forward. You can feel a bit more tension and pressure going down your leg, and then it lightens, it eases off. One foot's flat, this other foot at the back. You can see I'm on the ball of my foot on the toes. And then we'll go into some side bends. So if I'm doing this seated, I have my legs a little bit wider. If you're standing, your legs a bit wider as well. And it's a little teapot side bend. So you make your handle, your spout comes right outwards though. And then have a little lean over this side rather than going down this side. So we want to keep long, like we're going over something, like the big ball that's just behind me here. So to the other side. And if you push your feet down, if you're seated, you'll just get a little bit more resistance. You'll feel the floor more, and your side bend will probably just increase a little and just feel more secure. Standing. That's it. And then come back to the centre. I haven't got the comments on live. I'm just going to have a little chat because I might be missing all the action. I am missing all the action. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Jean. Sorry, I didn't have the comments thing switched on, so I missed that you were here. I was thinking I was a bit by myself for a moment. Lovely to have you here. Right, let's go into a little bit of a balance now. So let's bring the arms out. So instead of the one arm out, both arms outwards in some way. Helps with the balance here. Weight is going to one leg, and this other leg, just start to turn the bottom of your foot in and out. So when you're turning like that, it's this bone turning in your hip socket. If you've had a hip replacement, you might find that it's a bit restricted, that it hasn't got the pain anymore, I hope, but the movement is slightly different to how it used to be. If you've got osteoarthritis in your hip, you might find it's a difficult area, and we're just trying to keep it oiled, or we're trying to keep everything moving there. Blood going through here, the fluids circulating. Oh, I'm just nearly losing my balance. Right, hold it, bring that foot closer. Now you might keep your foot on the floor. It might go onto the other foot some way. I'm sort of got my toes on that foot. You could be touching something. Just going to touch that chair. Might be you choose somewhere. Let's go for shin. But can you open this knee out to the side and hold your branches out and just give them a little bit of a wave? And you could let them blow in the breeze. It all gets a bit wobblier, but it challenges the balance. That's a good thing. I can feel the sun shining in here. We've had a bit of all weathers today, but the sun's coming through, which is really gorgeous. Right, weight is in the other leg. This leg is just having this little pivot on the ball of the foot, but this is where it's happening. You can feel it if you touch around it. You can feel different parts move. If you're doing this seated, you can bring it in and out. And then come to your point of balance. So I'm right on the tip of my toe here. The arms come out, and then I'm going to let the branches have a sway. You could take them up. I'm just concentrating on the sensation of my sitting bones on the chair, and that's sort of keeping me a bit grounded. That's it. And then bring your arms down, bring your feet down, give everything a little bit of a wiggle. We're going to widen the legs. and reach forwards to one side like you're clearing a desk. And then the other side, clear the desk. Now that's what it looks like seated. If you are standing, widen the legs just like I've just done. Feet are going outwards. Send the bum back like you're about to sit on something. Now, how low you go is up to you. You could have a chair that's right down here, an imaginary one, or it could be you're just perching on a stool. It's completely up to you. Now, hand on the thigh, sweep the area clean, and then sweep the area clean with the other side. We talk about functional movement. You'll all know this one. Although just the idea of sweeping everything away and it just disappears, that's the best way of cleaning it. And then bring yourself up. We're going to take it down to the floor. So you might go down to the floor and you're just going to make your way and take your time. You might want to do a roll down. So you could do one with a straight back. So that would look like you are just bringing your bum back a little. You feel your hips going back. Rest your hands there. And we're just going to mobilize this bit of lumbar spine that we did at the beginning. So lowering down. So it's like you're lowering your bum down. And then walking your hands up. And we might do a couple more. Lower this area down. And walk up. Or you might want a traditional sort of roll down. Maybe your back's okay. You haven't got any osteoporosis. So you could take your arms up to your chest, take them outwards, stand tall, and then think about this chin just hovering over your collarbone. And then it rolls down, soften your knees, as much as you need to. And then you might just take yourself down to the floor that way. Or you might want to roll yourself back up and then make your way down to the floor. Either way, we're going down to the floor. So I'm just changing the camera a little. Moving all the stuff down. And grabbing cushion for my head. And then bring yourself to lying on your back with your legs bent and take your time. It doesn't matter if it takes a while. I've got plenty of time. We're going to take it gentle just for a few moments, which gives people time to get down without rushing. And when you get down on the floor, just check in with all the different points of your body where they're in contact with the floor. You can close your eyes and make it a real mindful moment so you can feel where your head is touching the floor, whether you're on something soft, how you know it's soft. So I can feel that give in the cushion. And then I'm feeling, not my neck, that's not really in contact with anything, so there's space there. But I can feel my shoulder blades and the very sort of back of my shoulders. Just giving that little wriggle. I'm just trying to spread all those points of contact out on the floor as much as I can. Palms out, it just opens out my shoulders, feels more comfortable. But you could go down, or you could have your thumbs upwards, whatever feels nicest. I'm just having a little wriggle around my sacrum and my low back. I can feel the sort of pelvic bones at the sides. And then I can feel my feet. So I'm going to press my toes down and let them go. I'm going to press my heels alternately down, just digging in like a footprinting the sand. And then just relax. Take a breath in, really inflate your chest again, just like before. Think about the stretchiness we're aiming for in the ribs. And then blow that air out slowly. Another one. And then bring your hands somewhere low belly, hip bones area. This time, take your breath in up here, just like before. And as you breathe out, let your pubic bone come towards your nose. Let your waistband sink down. Depends on the shape of your back, what your sensation is going to be. You might feel that you're pressing into the floor, or you could aim at squashing something like a strawberry or marshmallow. It might be that you have a sway back. It's got a really strong arch the other way. So you might feel a slight change, but you don't feel it in contact with anything. You could put a towel beneath. And then as you breathe in, rock away the opposite way. You could even rock up a little so there's space for your hand to go under. Again, it's going to depend on the shape of your back. So just a couple more of those little pelvic tilts, those rocks. And feel your hip bones coming up towards you. So they're coming close to your ribs. And then they go away from you, towards you and away. And then let them have a little side to side wriggle. It's small. So it just feels like you're trying to lift up on one side, lift up on the other. But it's little, tiny pressure into your feet. That's it. And then we are going to, just having a little check, stretch a leg away. Make it long. And then glide it back, just briefly touching the floor, gently touching the floor. Next one's different, so slide away. Bring it back, still feel your feet on the floor. Float it up to a tabletop. That's it. And then take it down, toe first. Stretch the other one away. Slide it back, feel the floor. Feel your bed. Float it up to a tabletop and just holding it there. Just feel the difference. If you bring it in, it often makes it a little bit easy. And then if you take it away, it makes it just a little bit hard. We're trying to find that sort of sweet spot where between it being too easy and almost feels like your bum wants to tuck round. So finding that sweet spot between that and that, I don't think I can hold it there. So fairly vertical here. Take that down. Another one. This one again is slightly different. So now we're going to hover the leg back, doesn't touch, and then come straight up to your tabletop and take it down. Next one extends away, doesn't touch the floor. Bringing it back, not touching the floor, float it up to a tabletop, and then leave that one there, arms out, take a breath in, and float the other leg up to a tabletop, and just feel what it's like, just have both of them there. Bring your legs so they're touching each other, give them a little squash together, and then slightly apart. So concentrate on that sensation as they touch, and that sensation as they let go. If it feels like too much, bring both legs down, and let's all bring our legs down anyway, and then have them slightly apart, and then squeeze towards each other like they're magnetically attracted, slightly apart, and squeeze together. And last one, slightly apart, and squeeze together. Right, let's lift one leg back up to tabletop and give the ankle a full circle round if you can. Otherwise, wiggles, arcs, writing a name is a nice idea, or a nice word, a favourite word. Just push your foot in all the different directions, take that one down, and now the other side. Lovely. And then take that one down. Now take your legs wide. You can see my feet are going out to beyond the edges of the mat. I really want to go wide for this one. And take your arms out into a T shape. So now we're going to go for a little rotation. Take a hand and push it across your chest. It's trying to reach the other arm. Now how far you go, you could go this far. You could push through. I'm going to push through this side so that my body rolls. See my legs roll over? And I've gone not just to this hand, but I've gone to beyond it. And then I'm going to roll back. So it depends what works for you. You end up in this very elegant position with your knees pointed outwards, your legs open, and your body just opens, letting the floor hold you. And then push your hand across on the other side. Could stay like this. You could push from the other foot. And then roll back. One more each side. And then bring your legs back together. Slide out anything that's under your head. And bring your arms by your sides. And you can see my feet are just scooting closer towards my bum. I'm going to go into a bridge. So take a breath into your chest. Feel your ribs expand like we've done lots of times today. Start your pelvic tilt. And just as you've tilted, and you can feel that lower back lowering a little and that change of shape, push into your feet. Lift it a little higher. If this is how high you go today even, keep it there. If you can lift a little higher, go higher. And just feel your t-shirt and your back just peel away from the mat. Push down into your feet. Keep your knees the same distance so they don't go out, they're not going in, they're just pushing ahead. And then melt down. We're going up again, breath in, breath out, going up. And then go down. And then go up and hold it. Take one leg up into that tabletop shape. Press down into the other foot. Well done. Take it down. Melt it down. Take it up. This is the last bit. Hold it up. Push both those feet down. It's giving you a bit of power. Arms are not really having to do a lot of work here. Nice and relaxed. Right, I won't keep you here too long. Breath in. Take the other leg up to a tabletop shape. Push down through this other leg. Take it down. Keep that height in your hips. And melt it down. Oh, well done. And then bring your knees into your chest. Something that feels nice. It might be this sort of stirring and circling. It might be side to side rocking. We're going to go into a side lying position. So let's go into that side lying position. Now you might be lying all the way down. Bottom leg can either be a little bit further forwards. See, I'm just trying to flatten my foot here and get the side of my foot. So it's further forwards than straight, or it can be bent and the foot's in line with the body. So that's one way of doing this. You could also push onto your forearm and just watch your waist dropping and all this sort of sinking around the shoulder. Push away from the floor. So I'm going to do it this way, I think. Right. This is the leg we're going to move. This leg is pushing down into the floor. So I've gone for the sort of triangle shape. And then this leg is like we've got a pedal that we're pressing, or a button that we've got to press down on. So this knee is just traveling here. It's not going outwards over here. It's just traveling up towards my chest and then pushing down. And I'm trying to concentrate on this bottom leg, pressing down on the floor. This leg, you're going to get tired, but it sort of knows what it's doing. This leg is being a little wayward. And I'm also trying to bring my waist away and keep a bit of height. Oh, and then give that a little rest. You can really curl yourself up as much as you need to. And then we'll take this top leg on a little up and down. So same position, either pushing away from the floor like this or lying down. I'll do it lying down on the other side. Flatten the long leg, foot, that's the bitumen, and just lift it up and down. Just a little range of movement. Doesn't need to be all the way up here, just a little range of movement. And then bend. Oh, give it a rub. And then in the middle, before we do the other side, we'll go back to that lying down with the legs wide, that super graceful position. And just let one knee dip down and up, and the other knee dip down and up. One more of each. And then another one of those reaches across. It's a variation of thread the needle, this one. Right, other side. So I'm going to switch around this way, but you might just roll away from me. I won't be offended. And this is the lying down look. So this time I shall do it with my leg forwards and straight. This top leg is hovering, and you can see it looks like it's behind me, but it isn't. It's actually in line with the whole of the back of my body. This leg is forwards. Using this hand for a little balance, and just check you're not leaning forwards or leaning back. You're right on the side, and the edge of that foot, like this or like that, is pressing down. Right now, bring that knee to the chest. I think there's a lorry outside my house, so you might hear a little reversing beeping. But we're going to press down, like we're pressing down on brakes, or you're pressing down a button, or you're pressing down on a spade going into the ground. One more. And then just a little recovery position, a little wriggle and a rub. And then the final part of this. So I've got my leg forwards and I'm pushing the side down. This leg is straight in line with the body. Both my feet are flat. Could also have your leg like this, bottom, up and down just a little way. So I'm probably going up and down maybe 10 centimeters, 4 inches. Just be glad we're not doing circles. You know, those little, whoa, don't worry, you don't have to do those. And then bend the legs. Curl up, make it all feel better. And then push yourself to sitting. You might be sitting and then on the edge of your bed. You might be sitting down on the floor like me. You can put something underneath to make it feel a bit more comfortable. We're not going to move the legs, but we will give the shoulders and the neck a little move. So a little alternate shrug up and down, a neck roll, and then look forward, and we're going to grab our collarbone. So just wrap your fingers just over your collarbone and just let your neck sort of gently lean away. You can go backwards and forwards a little or just hold it. Back to the center, same on the other side. Back to the center, bring your arms outwards, scoop up the air, look to your hands and bring them into your chest. And I'm going to finish today by giving you a clap, of course, but also mentioning, look out for special events this week. We've got Leanne coming from Mobilates tomorrow doing a Paralympian special, and it is a triathlon sort of themed, I think. So she is doing that sometime tomorrow. I'm doing something for the Paralympics first about swimming. So it's really upper body work. I'm going to be doing that next Tuesday at 12:30. But there's a load of other stuff as well. There's a quiz I've seen other people doing, other movement things. Look out for it. Namaste, Irene. Thank you, Jean. Oh, I could almost feel that coming as I was just getting ready to say goodbye. Have a lovely week, all of you. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.